Hey y'all, it's me. And it's been a long time. I've been off social media for the last 100 days. And today I'm doing something that has been a long time coming. And there will be a lot of you who have judgment, or you'll say things like, I'm bitter or I'm angry. But I am not bitter and I am not angry. I am full of joy and happiness. And I have been holding on to 22 years of secrets, which has been eating me alive and killing me every day. So I took 100 days off, 100 days off social media. And while I was off, I made a decision that regardless of what the outcome was, regardless if this affected me in a negative way, that in order for me to have peace, I needed to be unshackled and let out of the prison that I've been in for the last 22 years, keeping my ex-husband's secrets. And for those of you who have never seen me before on your FYP or on your social media accounts, my name's Heather, and I'm 46 years old, and I'm a mother of 4, and I was married for 19 years to a narcissistic con artist who had everyone fooled, and in some ways still does. And I've thought long and hard about this. And a lot of times people don't air their dirty laundry. They don't talk about the secrets they kept in marriages. And they don't talk about the abuse that they endured at the hands of their spouses. But that ends today. This summer, a mentor of mine, a colleague that I work with at the college where I teach, called me and he said, Heather, the thing that I love the most about you is aggressive honesty, aggressive transparency, and aggressive self-disclosure. So that's what I'm going to do today. So over the next few days, I will be dropping the entirety of the series, which at this point I think is going to be 15 to 20 episodes or parts, called So I Married a Con Artist. And I'm going to be exposing everything. So I'll be talking about all of it. Everything he put me through, and he continues to put me through, and other women through, because of him being a con artist. I'll talk about the lies that he told, about his college, about his politics, about his volunteerism, his community advocacy. I'll be talking about how he defrauded the federal government, how he continuously uses protections that are meant to protect good citizens to spend unreasonable amounts of money and then not have to pay any of the debt. Infidelity, embezzlement, thievery from his job, stolen valor. There is so much tea to spill, and I am here for it, and I've come with receipts. So let's jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about is my ex-husband's college education. When I met my ex-husband in the early 2000s, I had just completed my college degree, my bachelor's degree in communication from UNC Wilmington. And I was under the impression that he had gone to school to be a pharmacy tech at a local community college in South Carolina, which is where he was raised. And he told me he had some college, which I think he had some units, but it wasn't anything of merit. And so I knew that he was not educated when we got together, but it didn't bother me. And we'll talk more about the beginning of my relationship and the other lies that he told later on. But for now, we're focusing on the education. So we got together, and he was an awful narcissist who gaslit me, manipulated me, talked down to me, chiseled away at my self-esteem every single day that we were together, made me feel unwanted, unloved. And he was also a soldier in the United States Army. So when I met my ex-husband, he was enlisted in the United States Army. He was an E5, or what was called a buck sergeant back then. And he lived, breathed, and ate, drank, slept the Army values. And for those of you who aren't aware of what the Army values are, loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And my ex-husband valued loyalty above all else. So he would always tell me, be loyal, be loyal. Loyalty is more important than anything else. And he told me that we were a team, that we were working together. And the military sort of ingrained this in both him and me, that we were, working for the country, that we were serving our country, and that we were, doing this for the betterment of mankind. So in 2007, my ex-husband came to me and told me he wanted to go green to gold. He wanted to become a military officer. And I said, well, in order to do that, you have to have a college education. And he said, that's what I need to talk to you about. Now, you have to remember that I was a victim of narcissistic abuse. I was a victim of somebody who was brainwashing me and making me feel not good enough every day. And I desperately wanted his attention, his affection, and, I wanted to make him happy. So when he told me that I would be completing his college degree for him, I complied. And y'all, it was not easy. I was raising 4 children under the age of 10, and I was by myself because when he decided to go green to gold, he left for a year to go to officer candidacy school and to go to signal school so he could become a signal officer. And I was by myself raising 4 children at home, working full time, mind you, and doing his college work for his criminal justice degree from Troy University. When he came back from OCS, we got stationed in Fort Huachuca, and eventually he ended up getting deployed into a combat zone. So it was kind of funny to me that when I finished his college degree while he was deployed downrange in a combat zone, while I was taking care of not only my 4 children, but at the time my best friend, she had 3 children and her husband was deployed also. So I was watching 7 children under the age of 13 and doing his degree. And I managed to graduate magna cum laude for him. And it wasn't enough that he had completed his college degree on his own. He wanted more. So he told everybody while downrange that he had graduated in a combat zone. And if the military did not honor him and give him a medal, and I didn't even get a thank you. And I want to just say really quickly that this brings me a lot of shame. As someone who works in education, I know that this was wrong, and I did it under duress. This was not something that I wanted to do. I did it because my ex-husband convinced me I had to. So while he was going around telling everyone how smart he was, I was at home raising kids and doing college work and feeling underappreciated and unlovable. But that's not all. Because you see, it wasn't enough for him. It wasn't enough just to become an officer. So when we were stationed in Schweinfurt, Germany, he decided that he wanted an MBA. So while he was a commander of the HHC unit, while we were stationed in Schweinfurt, Germany, he came home one day while I was raising children. I was an FRG leader. I was the best FRG leader, by the way. And I was volunteering tons of hours. And he said, I'm not going to get promoted to major without an MBA. You start school on Monday. And he threw the books on the table. And y'all, I didn't want to do it. It was a lot. In the next 2 years of my life, while he did whatever he wanted, which we'll talk more about that in upcoming episodes, when he was doing whatever he wanted, I was up all night doing his schoolwork. So I was raising children during the day, volunteering for his Army unit, and then on top of all of that, doing his fucking MBA. So on his LinkedIn, this one right here, Troy University, that was me. Now, the University of Notre Dame, I think he just went through a certificate program and got some stuff from his military service. So that one he earned. And up there, that Liberty University MBA from 2012 to 2013, that was me too. Now, he says that from 2014 to 2016, he got second master's degree. But that's when we were living in North Carolina, and he was part of the PSYOPs attachment with special forces at Fort Bragg. And I don't ever recollect him taking a single college class during that time. So I would question the validity of that in its entirety. And this is problematic for a lot of reasons, mostly that he defrauded the federal government, lying to them about having a college degree that he did not possess, and got promoted in the military, now drawing almost $17,000 a month in military retirement benefits, disability benefits, and his paycheck where he works as a director for Space Force. And to be fair, I'm surprised that anybody believes he has a master's degree because he can't spell and he sounds dumb as a box of bricks. But I wonder how Space Force would feel, how the Army would feel, or how Liberty University or Troy would feel knowing he lied. And y'all, this is only the beginning. What's coming up next is going to blow your mind. Watch.